Blessings everyone, this is Chris Kendall from therawadvantage.com, registered holistic nutritionist, raw food lifestyle coach, and raw chef. Today we're going to go into why you may not have seen my face recently. Let's get into it.
Baby, I like it raw. Raw Advantage likes it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Hey.
All right, so I want to make this a pretty quick and easy post, just sharing why I haven't really been on social media, especially my Instagram stories, quite as much recently. You may have noticed that I'm not filming my face and talking a whole bunch. That is just because I'm just starting now, and by the time you'll be seeing this, I'll be all the way through. So this video is going to kind of cover the whole process of using an anti-skin cancer cream called Efudix. Now, this is a prescription cream. I am not a doctor. I am not recommending this. If you go back and you see another post I made about basal cell carcinoma and sunburn risks, I go much more in depth into that. I did have a basal cell carcinoma right here that actually required surgery to get off, and I had some acidic keratosis, I can't say those properly, burned off of my hand. But I have also noticed some other patches coming up here, one here, another two on my hand, that have been classified as some of the same. And I was recommended by some good friends and people I really trust, including Dr. Graham, to try out this Efudix cream. Now, it's not a lot of fun, and that's why you haven't seen my face. I do want to quickly reiterate that I am 100% of the belief that sun exposure is healthful, as long as you're not doing it to the point where you're burning consistently. So slowly building it up, looking to nature, looking to the animals, not necessarily being out there at the noonday sun, just basking all the time, but just making sure you don't burn. I had a major history of major burns, like many that I should have been hospitalized for. One I couldn't even put clothes on for weeks and took months and months to heal. And I'm pretty fair skinned, so that caused a lot of sun damage, which is accumulative, right? So anyways, check that other post. I go much more in detail with that and with the surgery and my thoughts and feelings and knowledge around all this. But this one here is just showing that I'm using this cream. I got to put it on twice a day. I'm using it on my face and on the backs of my hands. I burnt the backs of my hands probably the most from surfing a lot, not using sunscreen. I now do use some quality sunscreen at times if I know I'm going to be outside. Otherwise, I cover up and wear a nice big hat. And while you're using this, part of the reason I'm doing this right now, you don't want to have any sun exposure. So you want to limit it like to almost zero. So the process can take anywhere from about 2 to 6 weeks. I'm about 3 days in right now. I'll show you the whole process, and I hope you appreciate me being upfront and honest, raw and real with all of this stuff. I almost didn't make this video, but that's what's going on, and stay tuned for what's going to happen next. And around day 5, 6, the skin starts to get really red and sore and tight and dry and angry. How this actually works is really, really interesting. Essentially what it's doing, the faster replicating cancer or precancerous cells are halted from reproducing. It actually stops the DNA reproduction of those cells. The rest of the skin cells, they reproduce at a much slower rate, so they're not harmed. But the cancer and precancer cells, since they have a faster reproduction rate, they actually die off. So what happens is about a week and a half, 2 weeks in, start to get these scabs. The skin starts to slough off, and scabs and rash can form. It can even start to weep. And once it gets kind of near that stage, you're near done treatment, and then you just let it heal. But it's got a really good success rate, over 80-90%, and can prevent little teeny ones that the doctor wouldn't even be able to see from forming and becoming trouble later. So I figured this is the absolute best time of the year, and it seems like the absolute best course of action to make these easier in the future, so I can prevent having actual surgeries or having them burnt off or lasered off and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to share a little bit of the journey while I'm doing this. Just so you know too, this is non-life threatening. I'm not concerned at all. It's just one of those learning experiences where I kind of wish I would have taken sun exposure and burning a little more seriously. And just as a kind of neat side point, I was just in Costa Rica for my raw food and yoga surf adventure retreat. And I think this is the first time ever in my life not burning while being in the tropics. And I've been to the tropics like probably about like 35, 40 times. And I swear every single time I've burnt to the point where I need to stay in or completely cover up for a few days and just lather myself in coconut oil or aloe and stuff like that. So this time I did pre-tan for about a month before, and I was really careful covering up or putting on sunscreen if I thought I'd be in a position where I may burn, and I didn't burn. I just developed a nice tan, which is what you want to do. Again, the sun is helpful getting sun exposure. You just don't want to burn or overdo it. And pay attention if you're in an area that, it's a little bit thinner and more UV is getting through. All things that are important to know, consider, and also, of course, consider your skin tone. Lighter skinned people like me, blonde or redheads, gotta be a little extra careful. But it's wise for everyone to be mindful. Well, there we have it. I've done 3 full weeks of applying the cream twice a day. Today is my first day without applying any cream whatsoever. There were some trials and tribulations, especially the last 4 or 5 days where it got like really scabby and really sore and would crack and bleed a little bit and hurt. Now it's feeling just really tight and sore as well. I'm just applying some coconut oil. Otherwise they recommend petroleum jelly, but I prefer the coconut oil, antibacterial as well, just in case there's any cracks. Make sure to prevent any infection. I saw that was one of the potential low risk dangers, but good just to make sure. And I'm just taking it easy, getting lots of sleep, eating really good. In some of the reviews I saw, it took like 10+ days for some people's face redness to go down, and it can still have a little bit of redness and splotchiness for over a month afterwards. Hopefully it takes less, you'll see. I'm just doing a little quick update here. I've definitely had a lot of accumulative solar radiation damage, sunspots, keratosis, and my face definitely showed up all the little teeny marks where there was problem areas. So I'm really happy to be nipping this in the bud and preventing those smaller ones that you couldn't really see from getting bigger, and also helping out with some of these bigger ones. I counted at least 5 big ones, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there was kind of 5, 6 here, but some new ones up here too. So I think this was definitely well worth it. We'll see in the next week or 2 when I update here again, just to see what's going on, how I'm feeling. So there we go. There's your update for after 3 weeks of using the Efudix cream. Well, it's been officially 10 days since I've taken Efudix, and I gotta say the last week was pretty hellish, with about 4 or 5 days where it was really cracking and a little bit of blood and lots of itching, lots of pain. Definitely the worst time on Efudix for me was in the week afterwards, but the last 3 days it started to feel a little bit more mellow. Right now it feels almost completely normal. I have a little bit of coconut oil on there to smooth it all out, but I do have a little bit of loose skin, but I can see the little problem areas where I used to have little spots are gone and things are looking good. My scar from the first carcinoma, actually a little bit better, and I think some of the little eye scars from the motorcycle accident a little bit better too. As you can see, I'm still a little bit red, but it's getting better and better and better. All right, so this is my official wrap up. It's been 46 days since I started the treatment and like 25 days since I ended it. I gotta say, that last while was the absolute worst for me for sure, and it wasn't until I came through it and I started going out more and feeling a little less self-conscious that I really realized how much it took out of me physically, mentally, emotionally. It was really challenging. If you have any of these kind of issues, really weigh out your options. I'm very happy with the outcome. You can see here, there's still some redness in some of the major problem areas where there actually was the bigger kind of carcinomas, but they seem to be clearing up and all the rest of the skin feels really, really nice. And I know it's only gonna get better. I saw some forums talking about, will the redness ever go away? And it does take some time, but luckily, I'm in the perfect time of the year, like March 22nd today. As I film this, I'm gonna post it. There's too many people online saying silly things like once you go raw vegan, you can't burn and no amount of sun exposure is unhealthful. This is patently false. A well-planned raw food diet definitely can lead to way better hydration and lots of antioxidants and all the other good stuff to support your skin health. But you can still overdo it. My message here is just to be mindful, to hopefully prevent others from experiencing what I've experienced here with the surgery and then weighing out options and doing this. It was really intensive, and I'm just happy to be through it now and to get on and move forward, and also put out more controversial topics and come from a real place of experience, not just my own, but the other people I've been very blessed to learn from who've been doing this a really long time. So let me know what you think below, and make sure you like and comment and subscribe if you like this and want to see more videos. Let me know what topics you want me to go into, because I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. So as always, wishing you much peace, love, and seasonal fruit. My experience using Efudix. Wow, it was a trial. Ooh, don't forget to check out my raw recipes playlist in the top left, the video just for you in the top right, subscribe for more videos in the bottom right, and get your 3 free ebooks in the bottom left.
Grab your free raw recipe app, available on iPhone and Android, with over 100 free raw recipes, common fruit and vegetable calorie breakdown, frickin' raw, some food combining chart, shopping cart function, and so much more.